Welcome back to the Carolina Boys Sportscast. It's your host, C Dog, coming to you live with a new episode. Got my co host, JollyJ. What's up?
How's it going, C-Dog?
How's it going, man?
So how'd I feel catch up on the games this weekend?
Oh, man, it was wonderful. Last week, I was kind of MIA. We put the butt cut on Mississippi State. Came out and played all four quarters. I believe it was like 41-21. But this weekend game, everybody thought last weekend was a trap game for all the top five teams. Anyway, in the SEC right now. No, you still got Ohio State undefeated, Indiana, Texas A&M still undefeated, Bama, Georgia. It was Oregon, or I think it's Ole Miss. But this weekend it was balls to the wall, boy. Indiana, they came out with a win. I think they squeaked by with a win. I forgot who they played. Ohio State played last night. Played UCLA, which obviously was a dub. The one upset of the week was Oklahoma versus Bama. Number 4 Bama got taken down. Had their first SEC conference loss last night. It was 21-24.
Yeah, that was definitely my prediction of Oklahoma pulling it out with against Alabama. I'm not gonna lie, I watched that game for entirely. It was pretty awesome to definitely watch that game as well. Alabama, of course, was definitely a powerhouse again after a while after being something for a little bit. Came back through it, and then Oklahoma coming for that win, man. That's gotta be amazing. It's to the point where underdogs. I feel like this was underdog week. Definitely close to it. It's gonna be underdog week this week for some reason. Close to it. What I feel like was Carolina. Okay.
Oh yeah.
So
That
I watched
comeback of the century, boy. Let me tell you.
Well, that third quarter, they scored so many points, man. I'm not even gonna lie. Like they scored all their points almost in the third quarter and the very end, and the last. So they scored like 21 points in the third quarter. Okay, that is their biggest comeback, I believe, in their school history. If I saw statistics correct.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, Texas A&M, like they were. I don't know what they had going on. I mean, they were miscue after miscue after miscue.
Well, I know there was a big disconnection between their wide receiver and their quarterback. I'm not gonna lie, the wide receiver dropped a lot of passes that was actually in his breadbasket. So I can't really focus on the quarterback exactly. Definitely I'd be on the wide receiver side this time. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. So the biggest game we want to get down into, and I heard it all week, is my dogs. We had the primetime game, packed house, celebrities and all. Had Matthew McConaughey there, Quavo, Jason Aldean, Megan Maroney, Luke Bryan. You name it, they were all there. It was a showdown. I mean, Georgia coming in still ranked number 5. Uh, Still having that one loss to Alabama. Each game we've been progressing. Everybody considered Georgia as the cardiac kids because they've had to come back from behind all season just to win. Except for the last 2 games, like the Mississippi State game, like I said. We put BTA. I mean, our defense stepped up. Our offense was phenomenal and came in last night. Night game in Athens, electric. Uh, Texas came in. We shut them down like 35-10. Pretty much Texas couldn't get no. Props to Sarkisian and Archie Manning. But Archie Manning's not legit as he was at the beginning of the season. Everybody was all hyped for Archie Manning. But Gunnar Stockton, he went. I think went 29, or he went for 229 passing yards. I think they had a total of 21 first downs, 128 rushing yards. So right now he's sitting. I mean, that boy should be a Heisman talk. He's sitting at 2,269 yards, 19 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. That boy played out. I mean, our defense was electric. Our defense was getting stops. Our offense was holding their own. We were handling the ball, and boy, Nate Frazier, that's a beast. That boy was running it down Texas's throat like it wasn't nothing. And Texas got a good defense. Don't get me wrong. I think they were second in the conference. But
Yeah.
that's the same thing with Oklahoma. Oklahoma's front seven is no joke. Everybody's talked about it. Tennessee fans talked about it. That front seven, that's the reason why they beat Bama. I mean, so it's going to be a shootout. So now we got to win the rest of our games for Georgia. I mean, we got Charlotte 49ers and then Georgia Tech and Atlanta at Mercedes-Benz at the Superdome, and then off to the playoffs.
Yeah, I would say definitely Georgia did move up ever since Alabama's lost. Georgia was, I believe, was ranked number 5, and Alabama was ranked number 4.
Yeah.
So I would say that definitely moved up. Well deserved. Georgia blew out their team. And also, what I like to say is another game that I was able to predict that I felt like the score was a little off than I thought. I was thinking of Clemson versus Louisville. All right, come on now. So I'm a Clemson fan, of course. Carolina boys, we got to represent Carolina teams, but I would say that Clemson, they beat a ranked team after a long while, man. It's to the point where Louisville was only ranked number 20. It's still a top 25 team. I'm pretty sure Louisville's been a solid team all year. They're 7-2 before coming to this game, and so Clemson finally leveled out their record to 5-5. So I would definitely say that was definitely a solid game. Klubnik was able to he pulled out a little bit of ways and everything like that as well. But I would to the point where Clemson needed this. They needed this game. The whole entire team, the fans, they needed this game. They needed Clemson to pull out at least a team. I know they beat Florida State, but people wasn't really. It's okay. It's Florida State. Florida State has almost the virtual record as Clemson did this year. So at this point, it's definitely had to pull it out with Clemson just to get a beating number 20 team, and hopefully it'll get Clemson in the ranks. I don't think it will. They'll have to at least be another ranked team, and I'm pretty sure season's definitely close to being over at this point. So
I don't know. I got a feeling because we made a joke the other day, me and some people I were talking to, saying, with Carolina blowing the 30-3 lead, I think it's going to come down to Clemson and Carolina, and they're going to be like, whoever wins this game gets to keep their job. Whoever loses this game is bye bye. I mean,
well, I don't.
let's just be honest. I mean, look at the records. I don't think Dabo's going anywhere. But I mean, just like all these Gunnar Stockton haters and these people that keep not believing in Georgia, saying Georgia's not going to make it this year. I mean, this is November. This is the time to eat, and this is when Georgia starts clicking, and Georgia's starting to click.
Well, Georgia always clicks in the end. I realized during their seasons, Clemson's always not well. Georgia's always struggling to a point. They're winning, but they're not being Georgia. I would say in that matter at all. So that's what I feel like the most is that way. So I would say between Clemson and Carolina, I'm going to do a future prediction for them since you brought it up. I would definitely say that it will be Clemson beating Georgia. Clemson beating Carolina this year. So
I predicted probably, let's see, both teams playing like they are. I'm going to say 24-21.
24-21?
Yeah.
I will definitely shoot. I'll be in that ball range as well. I'm not going to lie. Clemson's defense is holding off pretty well. But on the quarterback side for Clemson, Clay Klubnik, I would say that Carolina QB is going to beat him. Like to the point where I feel like right now Carolina QB is a little bit better right now than Klubnik.
Sellers is all right, but I think there's times that Sellers actually just throws. I'm not saying throws the game, but it's just the point where they get enough lead. Like any other team, honestly, you get a big enough lead, then you think you can start just playing with your food. Like, okay, we're already 30. We're already a big up. They're not going to come back, but everybody knows.
Well, Carolina's QB has a little bit of an accuracy problem.
Huh?
I would say Clemson QB is definitely solid, but I would say Carolina QB has a little bit of an accuracy issue. I would say in the matter.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that. I mean, it's going to be like I said. We got 2 games. I mean, everybody else has got 2 games left of the season. But it's really down to playoff talk now. I mean, playoffs right around the corner. Because conference is right around the corner. Really, I mean, I don't think me personally, if Bama loses to Auburn, that's going to put Georgia back in to the SEC conference, and that'll be against Texas A&M. If Texas A&M does not lose to Texas, which I don't think is going to happen, but So I mean, honestly, I'd rather sit out. That way we can get our guys healthy again and finish letting them get healthy and then play in the playoffs because we'll host the. I think we'll have a bye week now that Bama lost if we can finish out the rest of the season with wins. So we'll get that first round bye seed and then.
So what was that? What was that situation? You would say that a team having a bye week and they're playing. What was that the little myth you were saying before about it? You were saying that were you saying that a team that has like goes in a bye week struggles definitely whenever they play again or before the playoffs or no?
So that statement, okay. So the bye weeks. So it depends. Like now with all these coaches being fired, and any team that's. I mean, if you watched all season, any team that fired their coach and they had an intern coach come in, they played ball and basically came off a bye weekend, beat the other team that they come up like Florida. Honestly, Florida could have beat us. I mean, they had a backup intern head coach, but I mean Georgia came away with a W. I mean, because that's a rivalry game, so we own them. Um, UCLA, I think they knocked off Penn State when they came off a bye week with a new intern coach. If I ain't mistaken, don't credit me wrong, but yeah. So I mean, going into the playoffs, I mean, if we sit out the first round and have a bye week, it's going to really depend who we play. Anybody really? Because I think what we would have hosted if we would have won out. I think it might change now, but we Georgia was going to host the first round against. First it was Tulane, or first it was Memphis. Memphis got beat. Then it went to USF. They got beat this past week. So now it's either going to be Navy or Miami. But with Bama losing and Georgia goes up to 4, that'll give Georgia, if I'm not mistaken, the first round bye. So Georgia can miss the SEC championship, get a bye week, and they'll just play whoever wins out of the first round, and then they'll advance to the second round.
I can see
They
that.
get if they get the W. But honestly, I'm wanting freaking Ohio State and Indiana to lose. Honestly, but I mean, we all know Notre Dame's in because Notre Dame beat Pitt.
But I would say the way Indiana played against Wisconsin was phenomenal. Okay, so it's 31-7. I would say that even though it was just Wisconsin, but Wisconsin, I believe, a couple of years ago was doing pretty solid. They was doing pretty well, and then it just went back to our normal teams of Wisconsin that situation. So I would say it's not a very big of like a what if type situation because it was Wisconsin, but
Right.
Indiana played pretty solid. Um, and like I mentioned before, but a lot of like I would say that Arizona came out upset with Cincinnati, ranked number 25 team. I would say that's pretty. That's what I'm saying. It was like an upset change of like big teams. Like is upset season. I feel like so far in this week and a lot of other weeks this college season has been so far.
Well, I mean, if you want to throw shade too, like look, Boston College a 1-9 went toe to toe with Georgia Tech and almost beat Georgia Tech. Their score, I'm serious, I'm not pull that. Their score was, well, I mean, you got Texas Tech. Texas Tech's been pretty good. They're ranked 6 right now, and they beat UCF, so they beat them 48-9. Florida and Ole Miss game last night. That was a back and forth, and Ole Miss pulled away 34-24. Uh, Miami, of course, beat North Carolina State, but 36-34, Boston College and Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech still coming off that one loss to NC State, but I think Georgia's got a shot. I'm not jinxing it, but I mean that's 2 games close, 2 or 3 games close that Georgia Tech trailed or came close to win. They beat Charlotte by what, a 3 pointer. Beat Boston College by 2.
So I feel like Georgia Tech is almost on. You feel like their next game they're going to definitely struggle. I would say.
But it's all based on who they actually play. They might play Virginia, and
You going anywhere today? Huh?
they might play Virginia in the ACC championship. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I would definitely say that Georgia Tech's going to be. I feel like they could probably pull it off with the ACC championship possibly.
I don't know, maybe. It's all just going to depend. I mean, really, they got, like I said, the last two games of the season, so anything can happen the rest of two. I don't know. Let's just
Yeah.
wait and see what happens. I'm waiting for Tuesday for the college football playoff rankings to come out because I'm really interested to see how the trees fare.
Who do you think's gonna knock off number one team Ohio State?
Give them their first loss. I'll say Michigan.
Michigan?
Yes,
Why?
because Michigan came back. Well, you know what is really shocking me, and I'll get back to Michigan. Navy beat South Florida yesterday, 41-38. That was all. That was all Navy. But Michigan, they beat Northwestern by 2 points from a
Mm-hmm.
comeback. But what really going to shock me is if they sneak those Diego Pavia and Vanderbilt into the playoffs.
They have. I would definitely. I would say let's give Vanderbilt a shot with it. I would say to the point where Vanderbilt they've been proving themselves all season.
Mm-hmm.
They really have. So they prove themselves all season, and their quarterback's amazing. A lot of individuals are actually looking into them. I know we mentioned them before in our other episodes as well,
Mm-hmm.
but they have been proving themselves, and as well as like I would say, big name people is looking at them at this point to make sure they don't go down the same paths. And we mentioned the individual before, the NFL player or former. So it's kind of like I would say they definitely need to be in there in that situation. I really root for them to go into it, and it'd be crazy if Vandy pulled it off. So
Yeah, that would shake up the tree if Manny can go in there and run the table. Like that'd be funny if they played Georgia. But honestly, I think I got Georgia versus Miami. Carson Beck versus Leonard Stockton. That's gonna show who the real dog is. I
yeah,
guarantee Georgia will play the first round of the playoffs or the second round.
yeah, but it definitely has to push comes to shove in that situation as well. Whenever we definitely our next episode when we get the rankings and stuff like that for the playoff rankings and everything, that would be nice. The top 12 would be amazing. But I know you're a Georgia fan.
Yeah.
So you got to be a little unbiased in this one. So how would you feel if who do you feel it can pull off for the Natty, the national championship, besides
Outside
Georgia?
looking in as a Georgia fan,
Mm-hmm.
like not being a Georgia fan, but outside looking in as a college fan.
Absolutely.
I would probably say because Bama they went out there, and so I could see. Depends on who they put in. I can give it Ohio State versus Texas A&M. If not Texas A&M, Bama.
Bama.
Yeah, I
I
said if
feel
Bama
like,
can pull it off. If Bama cannot pull it off, then I would say probably Indiana versus Ohio State.
yes.
But,
I would say top 1 and 2 right there. I would say that. I would definitely say that Ohio State can possibly pull it off. Because I have never, I so far this year, correct me if I'm wrong on this, Sea Dog, I have never heard of Indiana having any like bad ratings of anything about them struggling or anything like that at all this season.
I think, well, no, really. But it's all who they actually play. That's like everybody's excuse. Who these teams played. Like Georgia, like Georgia, they say they don't play nobody. Like Ohio State definitely doesn't play nobody. The only team they played was Texas at the beginning of the season, and
And we kind of see how that's going with Texas. So,
exactly.
well, it comes down to it to where the Georgia made Arch Manning cry. So I'm not trying to bash him stuff
I
like
don't know.
that.
I think that was legit, but I don't know if that was legit or if that was AI. But if it was legit, he really did get upset because they lost.
Well, I would be upset too, because it comes down to the point where that could be the make or break for Texas. That was their game to show their worth. I would say that was definitely the one to show their worth in that situation is to beat Georgia because everybody wants to beat Georgia. Everybody wants to beat Alabama. It's never everyone wants to beat Ohio State or Indiana. Like everybody wants to beat those two big SEC teams,
Mm-hmm.
Georgia and Alabama, and that's the
'Cause if you
goal.
look at
And
Indiana's
then
schedule,
and then
go ahead.
no, you're good.
Oh no, say like if you look at Indiana's schedule, I mean they started off the season with Kennesaw State 56-9. They played Indiana State 73-0 blowout. They ranked Illinois 63-10, Iowa 20-15, so that was a close game. Only ranked team that played Oregon. They beat them by 10 points, 30-20. Michigan State 38-13. UCLA 56-6. Maryland 55-10. Penn State only beating them by 5, 27-24. And Wisconsin yesterday 31-7. And the last game they got was Purdue.
So it's not a big pump to it. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's not it. You looking at the schedule, you feel like let me eat the schedule correct. Well, no, they're in a whole lot different conference. So
I mean that's like a lot of arguments say. Like these Big Ten, Pac-12s, other schools like Ohio State. Ohio State, like I said, they ran through Texas. Then Washington, Wisconsin. I think the only other ranked team they got this year would have been Michigan, and that's the only other team they play really that's in conference. But if you put Ohio State in the Alabama schedule, Georgia schedule, Florida schedule, they'll have more than 2 losses, if not 3.
I would say so.
But
Most definitely.
go ahead.
No, you're good.
No, you can go ahead.
No, I was gonna jump on you. I was gonna jump on UFC, but let's keep hearing about college. I want to keep hearing your predictions, stuff like that. SC dog. To me, you're the pro at this one.
I mean, what prediction do you want to hear? I mean,
So you're familiar with a lot of the big bowl games, and you're familiar with like what kind of pushes you to the bowl games.
yeah.
So besides the national championship, what do you feel like is going to be for the road? What do you feel like it's going to be for the Chick-fil-A Bowl? And that's statistics in that way.
It depends on who they put in for the Chick-fil-A Bowl, though. But I mean, it could be anybody. It could be TCU. It could be fucking Maryland. Well, I would say Carolina, but Carolina's done, so they ain't going.
No,
If we talking
definitely.
top 5, I'd say probably Navy, Georgia, Ohio State, uh, and Texas A&M, Alabama, and Ole Miss.
I would say definitely for sure. But and as well, of course, I got to talk about MMA over here. You're the professional over here at the football life. But this weekend was an awesome weekend for the fight world. You had 2 championships, man. It was amazing. It was UFC 322, and I like to rep one of our Augusta, Georgia guys. I followed some of his career. His name's Wellmaker, and Michael Wellmaker. And I would say that his career it was 10-0 before he came into this weekend. His first fight got pulled out. I'm not sure of the situations, but it got canceled. But they had this one guy. His name was I'm gonna go by last name, first name. I'm gonna butcher it. It's gonna be Ewig. He had a 48 fight notice. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
that's to me that is the smallest I've ever heard so far. Being an MMA fan, especially listening to the UFC. I would say that Malcolm he lost, but I feel like he would have been. I was pushing him a little bit more by watching some of his socials and watch a lot of his fights. I didn't see a lot of it. It's kind of sad. First, it was like a slugfest, and then of course, like Ewig won by decision as well. This is for the prelims, the late prelims, not the early ones. And also one other fight I like to talk about is at least the Cortez and then Blanchfield. Okay, those are the 2 female fighters that I followed a little bit. Okay, I've been watching some of like a lot of the posts, a lot of a lot of big I would say ESPN and of course UFC. They was all posting this one individual Cortez. That's her last
Right.
name. The Cortez shot a lot of spotlight. Okay, and they was really definitely pushing it. And sometimes I feel like whenever the UFC or anybody keeps pushing a certain fighter, there's too much limelight, and some people was making the situation of to where she's focusing on more of a lot of the spotlights instead of training and stuff like that. She lost by submission. So it's definitely crucial in that situation as well. One of the fights that I liked was Rodriguez versus Kapilov. So I'm going to do a little breakdown of the situation, and that situation has some of my notes in this one. Well, I had I would say at the very beginning of the round one, both fighters were definitely measuring their distance of their striking. Okay, it's very methodical. They had heavy hits at the same exact time, and it was a back and forth stand up once they figured it out. And then I'll say Kapilov had a very good takedown defense.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Rodriguez definitely amazing at takedowns. He stuffed 2 takedowns at the very beginning of the first round. And I would say that the whole entire fight was mostly just stand up because Rodriguez could not get his ground game at all in that situation. It was amazing. I know at one point, some of the statistics, he was like, Kapilov had like 4-0, like of just stuffing these takedowns, man. It was amazing. And then Rodriguez still won by decision. So it comes down to the point in that situation right there as well. And I like to say Bo Nickel. All right. Bo Nickel, he is had a lot of light on him as well versus Vieira. At the very beginning of the round one, there was a grappling dominance by Bo Nickel. It was amazing. His fight school definitely is a very good, strong fight school. I'm not very familiar with the name, but I was able to look it up some. It's pretty solid. Round two, I would say that it was a very strong technical boxing match for Bo Nickel. It was clean, it was cut, and it was amazing. It was solid. I would say definitely showed his skills in boxing. And after his most recent fights he had, he definitely just liked to show that he was still there. And then, of course, what was pretty nice is the third round. Okay, the third round, man, it was a roundhouse kick to the head, and of course, Vieira went down. That's all I needed. Just a couple strikes afterwards, but that was it. It's KO for Bo Nickel, and it was awesome. It was an amazing fight. That was early prelims. Well, actually, that was the late prelims as well. But some of the results that we have for a lot of the UFC, for the main card. Stand by for me real quick. So it was double championship for me. Of course, you had Bennett winning by St. Denis. He won by 16 seconds in the first round KO knockout. That's pretty solid. That's amazing. Leon Edwards versus Protz. I would say I was rooting for Edwards in that situation. He's been showing a lot of he's former champion, so he's showing a lot in that situation in welterweight. So it's to the point where he lost round 2 also by KO. So I would say that the first three fights in the main card all ended in the first and second round. Okay, all by TKO and KO as well. I didn't get to watch those fights as much. That's from off the results to him, unfortunately. But he had a Valentina, okay, versus Weili Bang. It's Wong, I guess I would say her name. Valentina, to me, she's an amazing fighter. Okay, definitely solid. She became double champ in that situation. So she won the flyweight championship. That was the co-main. She definitely joined the ranks as double champ this weekend, which is nice. I always like to hear them. I like seeing double championship cards, especially with history making like that. She definitely joins the ranks. And Jack Mandela versus Islam Magadov. All right, that situation, I would say that a lot of results that I've seen so far was grappling. Of course, he's Russian, and usually coming from the Islam team, it's mostly grappling to the point where it was solid. And of course, Islam has shown a lot of his striking. He had 140 strikes out of 188. So that's pretty nice. It was 30 out of 57 significant strikes, and takedowns was always it's going to be 100% with him. Coming awesome fight team is a 4-4. So 4 out of 4 takedowns, which is nice. They won by decision. There was a lot of mixed reviews on that fight that I would say because of the background, but to the point, I would feel like wrestling is a dominant trait in MMA all around. In sports, like, of course you gotta have your striking, stuff like that, but your striking builds to your wrestling. But it comes down to a point where it's just dominant wrestling. I would feel that is so far that's the most dominant fight. So it's sometimes really boring, but you get results at the end in that situation. Right. So that's what I feel like the most. because I had to get my breakdown. Of course, LFA, they had fights, I believe, on Friday. I'm going to get some of the results and everything like that as well. I wasn't able to watch none of their fights from USC Fight Pass, but definitely got to catch on to it some more as well. So, for the upcoming events, Sea-Dog, what is your predictions? Start to finish.
For college football?
Absolutely.
For us, I always like to throw us first up. So I feel we can go in this weekend or next weekend's game against Charlotte 49ers. I think we can rest a couple of people that we need to because, of course, our star linebacker, C.J. Allen, he went down with an injury like late first quarter, I want to say late second quarter, with a knee injury, but he said he was fine, and they said he was fine. So I think he just kind of got a stinger in his knee because he walked off on his own. I think he came back running out, but just didn't play. So I feel if we can set our guys up, I think we can easily handle Charlotte 49ers. I mean, they got a 1% chance to our 99% chance winning. So I'll see us going 10-1. The real other really test is non-conference, and that's Georgia Tech in Mercedes-Benz Stadium on Black Friday. 3:30 game, which I'm kind of going to be upset because I really wanted to go to that game this year. But I mean, it's going to depend on what Georgia Tech team shows up and what Georgia team shows up. If our defense can play lights out with 49ers, Charlotte 49ers, and actually play all four quarters with Georgia Tech, I give us 11-1. Bama, I mean, they're two losses now. One loss in the SEC conference. Uh, I can see them going 12-1, 11-1. No, wait, yeah, 11-1. Because they got Eastern Illinois and then they got Auburn. I mean, it's at Jordan Hare at night, so that'll be some voodoo crap. So I mean, it's an Iron Bowl, so I don't think Auburn can beat them because Auburn is completely trashed. Um, I mean, let's just be honest. I mean, they lost their quarterback, or backup quarterback. Their coach got fired. Everybody's leaving. The recruits are leaving. Ole Miss, or not Ole Miss, Ohio State. They'll probably have one loss to Michigan, and they'll squeak by and probably win the Big Ten championship, maybe. Indiana, same way. Texas A&M, I think they'll win out and they'll beat Texas in the last game of the season. So, I mean, it's going to be a prediction. Like I said, if Bama loses at least one more game, or at least the Auburn game, then it'll be Georgia versus Texas A&M in the SEC championship. If not, I mean, I see it's going to be a different slate in the playoffs.
Yeah, I would say for week 13, this coming up week, I feel like I would definitely say Texas A&M probably pull out in Sanford. I feel like all these games are going to be definitely. There's not going to be much big change at all this weekend. I don't feel like it's going to be like this week at all. I feel like Ohio State's could definitely pull out against Rutgers. Oklahoma is definitely going to pull it against Missouri. And I would say for definitely Notre Dame versus Syracuse, the game that I'm worried about probably the most is Vanderbilt and Kentucky.
Diego,
I feel like Kentucky could probably put up a fight. Huh?
Is it at Kentucky or is it at Vanderbilt?
It's at Vanderbilt.
Yeah, Diego's going to manhandle.
You feel like it's gonna be domination. It's gonna be domination for Vandy.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really like Diego Pavia, but I mean, he's playing lights out. I mean, he did that lawsuit just to be able to come back another year or whatever he did to be able to come back another year. But he's playing like this is an underdog story. So it's like he wants to win a Heisman Trophy and he wants to win an Natty.
Yeah,
But
and I feel like
Heisman contention, so Gunner needs to be in Heisman. As I said, Gunner needs to be in Heisman contention, but nobody listens to nobody. So it's like,
and
I don't know what Gunner's got to do, but if he don't be in it this year, the way our schedule is next year, I feel he'll be Heisman runner. But I got Vandy beating Kentucky.
I know Louisville versus SMU. I know SMU kind of upset Clemson. So
SMU versus
SMU gonna beat Louisville. Is that because they lost to Clemson? Possibly.
Yeah, I mean, the only good? I mean, they were 4-1 when they beat Miami, and now they're like 4-2, 4-3. Then SMU
Yeah,
came out and beat Miami in overtime.
yeah, definitely. I would say that definitely is strong, but it comes down. You got Miami versus Virginia Tech. How do you feel
Virginia
about that
Tech.
one? Virginia Tech.
Yeah. Look,
Ah,
I'm going against Carson Beck. I don't care what nobody says. I'm going against Carson Beck because I don't like him. I mean,
ah,
look, the
yeah,
way he did Georgia dirty, and now he's at Miami, and we told Miami what they're going to get, and Miami's getting what we got. But I mean, I give him credit. He balls out, but I just can't do it. I just can't stick with Miami.
ah. That's not good at all, Sea Dog. You got to stick with him. And you got Clemson versus Furman.
I'll give Clemson that. It depends on what
Absolutely.
Clemson shows up
I would.
with.
It depends if Clemson shows up. It'll be definitely be nice. If Clemson played against they did against Louisville, it would definitely be solid. If they show up as Clemson, that would be great. And then you have I'm pretty sure you got. I hate to even mention these other games that we have coming up because it's to the point where one. I'll probably got two more. You got Tennessee versus Florida.
That could be a trap game, honestly. It depends on what Florida team and what DJ Lacroix shows up. Since they got that intern coach. Uh, and if Joey Aguilar can actually step up for Tennessee, I'll say Tennessee.
Yeah, I would say. And you got one more. You got Georgia versus Charlotte.
Oh, dogs all day long by 50.
I know I was going to trick you up, but make you think about that one a lot. I'm like,
I mean, look, that's all. I mean, it may not be pity, but I'll say 45-3.
if Charlotte wins against GA, that would UGA that would definitely be
I would go back to being
very
a Bubble
upsetting.
hater.
That would definitely that'd be very upsetting. Because that would completely throw everything in the wrench for UGA in this situation at all. I would say that definitely for sure.
We would just have to
But I
win
don't
out
think it's
the
going to
other games.
happen.
But I just can't
It's
see it.
not.
I mean, look, our defense is starting to click. I mean, nobody's been able to stop our offense to save their lives. I mean, we ran down everybody's throat. We got four deep running backs. We got Nate Frazier, Chauncey Bowen, Dwight Phillips, Robinson. We got Cash Jones. You name it, we got it. Oh, we got McCray. I mean, we got a freshman running back that's phenomenal.
Definitely.
And Gunnar
But
Stockton, who can take a damn hit and keep on rolling. I mean, the real
I would,
talk on, but the real talk is going to be Clemson and Carolina.
Clemson and Carolina, man, that's not here yet.
That's a do or
But
go home situation right there, boys.
it's the Palmetto Bowl. Come on, man, you got. Of course, it's got to be Carolina boys. You got to bring it up. But the thing is, it's to the point where it's like, I'm rooting for Clemson. Of course, I'm a Clemson fan. I got to be a little bit biased, but the same exact time is I'm kind of nervous. I'm kind of really nervous because South Carolina, they almost won, man, and to the point where Clemson hasn't played like Carolina did in that game. So that I would definitely say at that point, that would definitely be a game. I would definitely say that's going to give Carolina motivation. Their record by any means is not close. It's close. It's a little bit close to Clemson, but at the same exact time, it's not.
Yeah.
Clemson leveled out 5-5, so and we're good at that one. So that's what I'm happy about. So I would definitely say it's going to be a hard game. I hate to promote it because the fact is it's to the point where I don't know. Some of my predictions is wrong. But this week, I would definitely say my predictions are pretty right. But do you have any
Hey,
more
look,
for this
everybody was
audience?
shocked last week. Everybody was shocked last week because they thought last week was supposed to be the upstate games, and then they were like, well, I mean, it's week by week basis. I mean, we still got the conference games coming up, but they thought
Yeah,
Georgia was going to
college.
get upset by number 10 Texas, and look what happened. They came into Athens that night, 7:30, in a hostile environment, and got leveled.
Yeah, because college is unpredictable. It's to the point where like you can make predictions all you can, you can bet money on all you want, but it's gonna be different. It's gonna be weird every single time. It's just like MMA, to the point where like you can watch all their fights and it just takes one little flash knockout, and next thing you know, there goes your parlay.
Yep.
So there goes your parlay because of one little flash knockout. Just like I would say whenever I was bragging to you about Carolina about winning, and I took a picture of it too soon. Yep, I ate that one. Ate that by 1 point exactly. So I didn't even recognize it was in the third quarter. I'm like, this isn't good at all. And then Carolina couldn't even do nothing. After the second half, it was not a Carolina game anymore. But do you have anything more for the amazing audience there, Sea Dog?
Nah, I'm good. Let's see. I hope we get a good enough wins for the next two games. That we'll be back. Probably in a couple another week or two or a couple of days. Talks a little bit more.
Most definitely. I'll keep up with some MMA events coming up soon. Definitely hear it for next week for our results of our predictions. May hopefully become correct with it. Thank y'all so much for listening to us. Catch us on your major platforms. Thank you.
Thank you.